Anthropomorphic animals are everywhere. Most of us grew up watching shows and movies featuring anthropomorphic or human-like animal characters. Examples such as Zootopia, Robin Hood, Scooby-Doo, Blue's Clues. All of these are media which features animals with human-like characteristics. Just like there are fans of sports and sci-fi, there are anthropomorphic animal fans too. This may sound like a fairly niche interest, but furries, or fans of anthropomorphic animals, are everywhere. They make up a large portion of tech and computer fields, and they're just like me and you. As someone who has an interest in anthropomorphic animal characters in media and who has been researching furries for the past year, I've always wondered, what are furries and why are they so misunderstood? In this speech, I'll discuss more about what furries are and discuss some of the misconceptions surrounding this peculiar fandom. First, we'll talk about the role anthropomorphic animals have played in our culture historically, how the furry fandom began, and what a furry really is. Then, we will briefly discuss some of the misconceptions surrounding furries and why perpetuating inaccurate ideas about furries can be harmful. First, anthropomorphic animals have been part of our culture and history from the beginning of time. We can find examples in the Bible, in Aesop's fables, and many different cultures, mythologies, and fairy tales. They often show as characters who we can connect to, as someone that is so different from a normal human that anyone can relate to them. In 2024, Matt Crawford on the blog filmlifestyle.com discussed the role of anthropomorphism in storytelling. He states that anthropomorphism bridges the gap between human emotions and the narratives we wish to communicate. By attributing human traits to animals or inanimate objects, we create relatable characters that engage audiences on a profound level. Now, with something so universal, like anthropomorphic animals, there's bound to be people who are interested in that. And the furry fandom, or a group of people who enjoy anthropomorphic media, became its own culture around the 70s and 80s as an offshoot of comic and science fiction conventions. But how do we answer the question what a furry actually is? Well, simply, furries are fans of anthropomorphic animals, the same as any other interest or fan group. Hal Herzog of Psychology Today states in a recent article, put simply, furries are fans, in the same way that Star Trek fans are fans of Star Trek, and sports fans are a fan of sports. Furries are fan of media that features anthropomorphic animals, that is, animals who walk, talk, and otherwise do human things. What do furries do? Same thing as any other fan culture. They make art, costumes, and consume media related to their interests, and they enjoy gathering together with other people who share those same interests and hobbies. Why is it important that we know more about furries and to learn more what they actually are? Well, for a lot of people, it can be pretty strange to see a group of people who dress up as giant fluffy animals, and that might be strange for some people. But really, it's no different than any other group or interest. But one of the major issues is that because people don't understand what furries are, a lot of furries are bullied and judged for their innocent interests. Despite being one of the most inclusive and welcoming fandoms, furries are one of the most misunderstood and broadly hated communities. This is often because furries are miscategorized and mischaracterized by popular media, TV shows, and the news at large. It's very important that we as respectable people try to understand people who are different than us and not be afraid of things that we don't understand. According to furscience.com, the website for the International Anthropomorphic Research Project, a group of researchers who specifically study furries, in 2022, they found that when compared to a control group, furries were significantly more likely to be bullied than to be physically and verbally bullied. And approximately 60% of furries agreed that they felt prejudice against furries from society, while approximately 40% of furries felt like being a furry was not socially accepted. This is very serious. We need to stop bullying people because we don't understand them. According to this chart by Hal Herzog from Psychology Today, using First Science's data, we can see how much more furries are bullied than non-furries in different age groups. This is over 20% more likely to be bullied than other people. According to the empirical studies that the IARP conducted found that many of the negative stereotypes with furries were unsubstantiated. The broad majority of furries do not think that they are animals, are not sexually attracted to animals, and are not involved in the fandom for sexual reasons. In fact, the fandom is very adamant about showing people that this is just a hobby. It's just something that people enjoy and do and spend time together. In conclusion, what I want people to take away from my speech is that furries are just like you. They're just fans of things that they love, and they love spending time with other people who share their same interests. Anthropomorphic characters, they've been a part of our culture for as long as we could write things down. Furries are just fans of anthropomorphic animals like any other fan culture, and most of the negative stereotypes about furries are not true. So, the next time you see someone dressed up in an animal costume or wearing a pair of fox ears, realize that they're actually pretty nice and a lot more like you than you would originally think. Thank you.